after we've heard about that court interdict. And down in the Eastern Cape, in the Buffalo City Metro, there were some voices of defiance earlier. Ronald Masinda is on the ground checking out the situation for us. Ronald, good afternoon again. Welcome to today, this hour. Earlier, I spoke to the General Secretary of the Nehawu, Trade Union Nehawu, and he was saying that they've received the order. They've asked all their members to comply with it. The court had ruled that they must tell all their members, especially the essential workers, and those will be many of them who work in hospitals, to return to work. And Nehawu now is considering its way forward. But there have been allegations, even today, of intimidation.
Yes, indeed. But before I go to those allegations, it's to my understanding that during this hour, Nehawu in the province is locked in a meeting where they are trying to map up a way forward. We understand that this meeting is still ongoing, and hopefully in the next hour, I will provide an update regarding the outcomes of this meeting. But today's strike has largely been a peaceful one, which is a far cry from some of the events that were reported last week. The eNCA Health Department raising a lot of concerns at some of the health facilities. Earlier, I spoke to the HOD for the health department, and she said that at least 41 of their health facilities were badly affected. They did identify as management some of the hotspot areas. Hospitals in the Nelson Mandela Bay area as well as in Tata were the worst affected. We also heard some allegations of intimidation and violent acts occurring here in the Buffalo City Metro, in particular at the Cecilia Makiwane Hospital. But just to give the viewers an idea of some of the issues that were at hand, we heard that in Mthatha Hospital there, some of the Nehawu members were carrying shambox and attacking not only staff but some of the patients. It resulted in some of the security or private security being deployed there, clashing with Nehawu members. But what we understand from the health department, and this is a conversation that I heard earlier, is that not only could those members who were disruptive last week be in trouble in terms of disciplinary action, but there could also be legal action against them. We understand that the department has also been in communication with the police following last week's protest action. But this is what Rolene Wagner had to say earlier.
Despite the interdict being in place, we have had a group of about 200 protesters at Livingston outside the gate. Similarly, despite the interdict and the 200-meter radius condition of the interdict, we have had protesters at Dorangenza. The one gate has been obstructed, the other gate they were allowing cars to come in and out. So we've had various acts. We've had 2 reported incidents of fires. So it appears to have been a deliberate fire set at the at the Livingston Tertiary Nursing Home. That was on Friday, and we've also had benches at EMS that have been burnt. EMS, we've also found today there's been escalation. We've had reports submitted by affected employees where they have been physically assaulted, intimidated. They've received calls warning them not to come to the workplace. And when they are in the workplace, they've also received calls saying, one of the calls was saying, we know where you live, this is your address, these are your children, this is the school they go to. So it really has been ugly.